Discourse on independent television, and our special focus today is to look at the continuous concern of the U.S. Government with African issues, and we are restricting it to the recent allegation. That's what some persons are saying now, that it is all allegation that Donald Trump is making, concerning the Christian race, that there seems to be a calculated genocide against Christians in Nigeria, various countries in Africa that the U.S. government has, involved in. And we started by looking at Somalia, that between 1992 and 1994, we saw how the U.S. government involved in humanitarian issues and also the need to keep peace in that country. Then the reason why the U.S. government had to interfere in Somalia was because to prevent a famine and to protect its workers, then also stabilize warring regions. Then in 2014, 2015, we also saw the nature of the involvement was humanitarian assistance. Then also too, we also saw that in 1998, whereby the nature of the involvement was disaster relief in Kenya. Then in Nigeria now, we are seeing the interest. As a matter of fact, the current U.S. president has, seems to be very interested, and he wants to intervene. Even we know that the Nigerian government, the Nigerian president, is going to be meeting Donald Trump of the U.S. in a couple of days from now, so that they can further discuss the issues. Now, to our guest here, Roy Orivabo. Now, let's look at, because, I probably don't want to say that the controversial nature of Donald Trump always come to play. But if you look at some persons that probably believe that Donald Trump is more of controversy in this regard, in these issues that has to do with security in Nigeria and all that. What would you make of a president that about 2 months ago we saw how he was trying to woo the Nigerian government, deporting other nationals of foreign countries, trying to deport them to Nigeria. We also saw how he deported them to other nations of the world. That is just one, one side of the hand. Then on the other side of the hand, he is signifying interest to want to smoke out jihadist movement, terrorist movement in Nigeria. How would you, lay the two parts of the story, side to side? How would you look at them?
You go to Sierra Leone, they have praise of Vataro. Even in Nigeria at the time, the era of Abacha, they were also very supportive there. We cannot just wish them away. To me, where we are heading to now and where we find ourselves is that the U.S. government have another president, Donald Trump. Whether you like it or not, I see Donald Trump as an unusual president. It's not the president we have known of the U.S. It's not a man who have believed in the principle of democracy. It's not a man who believes that the U.S. can accommodate. If you look at their diplomatic relations across the world now, you agree with me that the man is just best an unusual person. Therefore, based on his comments, if we are to dive into that, in that the Christians in this part of the world, there is a serious genocide going on. These are comments that have been, very just as a lobbyist, I was able to move out the shore of this country, and I discovered that this is not the first time Nigeria will be receiving this kind of treatment from United States. You remember in 2014, some Nigerians, they moved to U.S. and go and told the U.S. government through lobby. They went to the K Street in Washington, D.C., where they go and involve the lobbyists in America to help them to reach their president, telling them that the president of Nigeria, under Jonathan, that he was not doing well, that have given the room to the terrorists, the Boko Harams, to operate without anybody preferring there. And you saw how the government there of the United States reacted. They were there, they were very committed to make sure that they supply us with military hardware, if you can recall, And as of today, I'm also very believing, because I believe that Nigerians, what we are also seeing today, that you cannot also wish that way. Maybe some Nigerians have also go to the K Street to go and mobilize the lobbyists, Because if you look at it in 2014, there was political dimension to it. And at this time, Nigeria have never been so bad that we are seeing it now. Therefore, many persons are bothered. That's why, where are we heading to politically? What is the progression of this country, you know? But what is quite fundamental, you know, the issue is that one, the point that being raised by Donald Trump. Is it true? Are there killings in Nigeria? Are there terrorism in Nigeria? Is there kidnapping in Nigeria? These are issues we can't run away from.
But the question we ask is, the killings, I should say now, is it really geared towards the Christian race? That's its focal point.
It's not what you say about the Christian race. Does that mean we don't even have him? There's no regard for humanity. Does that mean that we don't love, we don't appreciate life? We must appreciate life. You know, that is the point I'm looking at. My position here is not to attack Nigerian government. As I've said, this is the time for Nigerian government to show leadership. This is the time for we, the citizens, to demonstrate patriotism. Because we are dealing with a man that is very unusual. And that's the reason why I have been appealing. In my capacity, I've appealed to Donald Trump that he needs to take it very easy with us. And I've also appealed to those in position of authorities that they should not be talking as if it's an opportunity for the boys to abuse the elders. It will not be good for us as a country. Therefore, I believe on those who are, I've listened to different persons, very just, I saw in the sounds, they are saying it's illegal if you invade Nigeria. The issue of legality will not even come, because as I said, I'll continue to use that adjective, that it's an unusual man. You know, look at what is going on in Venezuela now. He told them that he will be coming, and immediately he is there. As I'm talking now, the president of Venezuela, who does not know how to speak English, who is very fluent in Spanish, he ran back now to school to quickly go and learn how to speak English. The only word he can pronounce in English now is peace. Anytime you see him like shouting peace, Donald Trump, peace, peace, peace. What does that show to you? Is that he knows the potency of that man. He knows what he can do in terms of his regality in government. What was that supposed to show to us? That the president of this country, all of us must rally around the president of Nigeria now. All the citizens must rally around, because this is the country we call our. We don't have another country. We must show at the highest level of patriotism now. This is not time for we to be attacking Donald Trump, because if you attack Donald Trump, if he's Trump, there's something that can happen.
Now, when you say attack Donald Trump, why will you attack him? Attack him in what sense? That
I don't know if it is true. I read some dailies and I see what some persons have been saying. You know, some might be very confrontational. Some might be saying, "No, we will resist you," and all those things. It won't get to that level, because the man you are dealing with is fire for fire. And that's the reason why I have suggested that the president, now what you should do at this material, that you reach out to Donald Trump. The governors now, in the 36 states, need to move the less critical stakeholders who are patriotic to say, how do we do this? This is not about politics. This is no longer about party affiliation. We have to jettison party affiliation now and to demonstrate patriotism. In patriotism, disposition, and principle, you don't discuss party politics. And that is the reason why this is the time we are going to discover who are the really Nigerians, who still believe in the working of Nigeria, that Nigeria will work. That is what we need now. Therefore, what the solution now is that what the 36 governors need to reach out to critical so that within their state, mobilize them to say, well, what can we do? Then the discussion will be coming from there. This is not about party affiliation again. Why the presidency will not look at the others? We have men who have served in different capacity, who also have voice. Very just now, Goodluck Jonathan, who was also affected by the reaction of those who are in position. I don't want to go there. People like Olusegun Obasanjo, people like RBB, they are still alive. People like Ayoku, these are elders who believe across the globe, they have been identified as a force, who can negotiate and reach out. I think the president should be doing that in this, you know. And that is the only solution. Where if we then want to be confrontational with this man, it's not going to favor us. I'm calling on Nigeria. I know some persons are not very happy with the disposition, but we cannot be very say we want to question the man. You agree with me that over the years, the U.S. government have seen themselves as the police of the world. Once they take a decision, they implement it. Therefore, we must be very careful on how we handle this issue. Okay. You know, in diplomacy, you know, deportation is discussed at that level. Therefore, if you are deporting anybody from your country to another country, there will be an engagement, discussion, you know, to agree. you cannot just deport anybody to any country not of his origin without something attached to it. There are material things attached to it. The records are there. Therefore, if you approach Nigeria and say this is what we'll be doing, and Nigeria say no, then you also look at it and say there is problem going on in Nigeria. You know, that's the reason why in the opening speech I was begging the government and the people not to confront this man.
That is to allow Donald Trump.
No, it's an unusual personality. He's not the kind of president you have had in the U.S. over the years, you know. You know, this is the first time in the street of U.S. you are seeing the immigration officers. This is the first time in the street of U.S. you are in your farm. You know, those who don't have proper documentation, they always go to the farm. As we are talking now, the immigration officers are moving from farm to farm in the interiors. It's as bad as that. What does that show to you? That he made a commitment, that when he made that commitment to the people and the citizens of the United States, they believe in it. And that's why you look at the way, the pattern, how he won the election. They voted for him massively. And he came back to say, my position was not just a mere talk. It's going to be a position of action. So this commitment, that is what he's doing.
Yeah, this commitment that he's making now to smoke out the jihadist movements in Nigeria, is it a welcome development or not?
To me, if it is based on sincerity to help us to fight, this is not the first time U.S. will be helping us. You remember when
so why
we have not been able to go. U.S. government even told us at the time when they came, they were sharing intelligence with our militaries. They were not using it. We were also told that they will give them information on how to go. They will go and tell the terrorists, you know, the bandits.
But all those were allegations, though.
They were all allegations. As of today now, Nigerians, are we being kidnapped? I am not bothered whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim. I'm a lover of humanity. I'm looking at life. Life is my interest. If anybody dies in far away in Abuja, I am bothered because it's a human being like me. If somebody dies in Borno State, I am bothered. It's a human being like me. That is the value I place on life. And that is my concern in all this is. If genuinely, and Donald Trump discovered that there's high level of massacre going on against the human nature, and he said, no, I have what it takes to do this thing for Nigeria. To me, I don't see anything wrong about that. But when they take it to another level, that's the reason why I don't want to subscribe to say Donald Trump or America want to invade Nigeria. If they invade Nigeria, that will not be good for us. We don't want that kind of arrangement.
Yeah, that is what the question that people are asking. Because if you look at other ways that the U.S. government has involved in issues in other countries in Africa, it has been more of diplomacy. I mean, with due respect to the sovereignty of those countries and all that. But with the character of Donald Trump now, I mean, we understand that as a few hours ago, there are some, you know, the things to really understand that he's ready his army, you know, they are ready full-fledged to, you know, invade the northern parts of the country. So the question that we ask of that now, for a president or a personality that wants to help, but he is keeping our sovereignty in abeyance. I mean, he is not giving regard to the sovereignty of the nation. So what would you say about that?
The issue of sovereignty does not arise.
It does.
You know, now,
I mean, we're looking at two countries.
With the world, what is going on in the world, we saw it, Russia invaded Ukraine. Do they consider sovereignty?
Yeah, but those are two separate issues now.
No, invasion is invasion. And that's the reason why in that issue I was begging you so that we will not use that adjective invasion. I don't believe he wants to invade Nigeria. You know, there are solutions to it. As he said, when he made that pronouncement, immediately he directed the Secretary of War.
Yeah.
And the Secretary of War at this morning, he released that they are already prepared. You know, what does that show to you is that, and the man who is the Secretary of War, one of the highest and the biggest sacrifice I've seen in my life.
Well, Peter Hegseth.
Yes, in the world, because he was one of those persons who never qualified for that position. He doesn't know anything about the military. But Donald Trump just said, you are my guy, come and do this job. Before Donald Trump said Jack, he's already at it. You know, and that's the reason why I said there is still hope. The hope is that, one, let us not confront this man. What do? We take it discussion to that level. And I say I'll continue to tell Nigerian government.
What do you think is the concern and probably the fear of Nigerians and Nigerian governments, even your own fear, Roy Riverboard? Because from the way you are talking, it seems that there are some elements of fear.
When you say there are elements of fear, is that in the US, Nigeria don't have the military hardware to confront them. Forget that. We don't have it. Let us not deceive ourselves. We don't have the intelligence.
Nigeria is not going to be at war with the US.
That is the reason why
we
can prevent this. And that's the reason why I'm seeking for diplomatic discussion, negotiation. Let's discuss, because if somebody who is bigger than you, have influence more than you, if it is true, if he tell you I'm coming to oppress you, any wise man will quickly go and say, I'm sorry if I've offended you. And that is the point I want Nigeria to put. This is not time for we to be grandstanding. When you and I know that we don't have all it is, even the highest person, the president of Nigeria, cannot conveniently tell you that we can confront the United States of America. Why are we doing that? Why can't we can go to the table? I'm happy that the president wants to go to the United States to meet with Donald Trump, so that they can have discussion. And this way they can further give in that these are the issues, these are the true picture of what is happening in Nigeria. Yeah, and we are going to step up the
true picture of what is happening in Nigeria is that there's high level of insecurity.
Now you have agreed that there's high level of insecurity.
So don't you think that Nigerian government needs help?
Why would we need help?
So why should we want to reject a better?
No, that is the fear, because you are using the word invasion, and that's the reason why people like us are also scared. You use the word invasion. The meaning will tell you that Okuomo say now. You cannot be talking about invasion. You expect me to be very happy about that. But I believe that this matter can still be resolved. The issue I'm not getting out of hand. The issue is still very at the elementary stage. Trumps are making. Trump's. I'm a supporter of Trump's. In the election, I was very vocal about him. I wanted to be the president because there are some of the policies I love, and there are also some of policies he's doing and I don't love. And I've condemned him and I've criticized him. But on the strength of this, I don't want to be very hard on him. And I say because he's an unusual personality. When he talked to them in Venezuela, we were thinking he was joking. The next day he was already there. And the world now have not been able to interfere. And you will agree with me also that Nigeria is a big nation, a big country in paper. You understand me? But we don't have what it is. When we're growing up, we see Nigeria as a giant of Africa. Now, how many times do you hear those in position are saying giant of Africa now? We're little countries that are just coming up. They are leading us in economy. They are leading us in military hardware and software. They are leading the welfare of the people. They are even doing well in terms of the welfare and others. Our GDP for a very long time now, we have just been displaced as the emerging and the growing economy in Africa. Therefore, we are deteriorating. If we now also want to be grandstanding and exhibiting what I call obduracy, trying to say nothing they happen, as we say in the beer parlor. When something happens, what will not be our fate? Okay. Therefore, move for the president going to the United States. That is the first sign that he's committed. He recognized the potency of Donald Trump and the U.S. government. Okay. That's a good one. And secondly, he should also immediately direct his the PAs, the ministers, not to make any further comment on it. If you must make a comment, you must be looking for a way to appeal to this man. And all Nigerians, we must demonstrate high level of patriotism. And the Nigerian government must exhibit highest level of leadership so that we know that we have government. We have people who are managing us and people who are managing our resources. Okay. All right. So we'll take a short break now. The program still African Discourse. We're going to be right back. Please stay tuned. All right, thank you one more time. The program still on your television, African Discourse. The continuous involvement of U.S. government in the issues in Africa is what we've been looking at. And we've been looking at the current one now, whereby Donald Trump is so interested in the issues in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump has, warned the Nigerian government that if no action is taken against the current security situation in the country, then of course the U.S. government won't have any other option but to do a full military invasion
into the country. Now, in a quick response to that, we understand that the presidential aide to the president, Daniel Bwala, that's the Nigerian president now, says President Bola Tinubu and United States President Donald Trump are expected to meet soon to address recent claims of Christian genocide in Nigeria. Then Bwala, who serves as Tinubu's special advisor on publicity communication, disclosed this while reacting to Trump's remarks accusing the Nigerian government of failing to act against attacks of Christians in the country. Now, Roy Orivabo is still our guest here on the program today. Now, Roy, the U.S. government and the Nigerian president are going to be meeting. U.S. President and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, our own president, are going to be meeting very soon over this issue. Whether they are meeting in Nigeria here or in the U.S., but I think they will be meeting in the U.S. Because I don't know. I don't know whether Donald Trump will want to come over to Nigeria. But whatever be the case, what is more important is that there's going to be a meeting of the two presidents. Now, what do you think are going to be the factors that will form the basis of their discussion? What are they going to be talking about? And what do you think is going to be the conclusion? What are they going to settle for?
The issue is very direct. One of the first questions Donald Trump will be asking is that, what's going on in your country? And the man will say, well, nothing, we are doing well. He said, no, I have reports. You saw it when the president of South Africa was with him. When he talked, he said, I have reports. He brought us in, I was showing him reports. And that is the records we are talking about. Now, the president is there as the president of Nigeria. He will be telling him, well, we are not aware of this. To the best of our knowledge, this is
not aware.
Of course, if now the Nigerian government are already making their points that there is no Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. Therefore, if Donald Trump think otherwise or he have more superior information, he should show it to the Nigerian president. I think that will convince the Nigerian president to do more better. Well, we should be looking at the advantage of this whole issue. One is going to strengthen our security. The president will be meeting with Trump, and the Trump will tell him, I've given you so time to go and do the needful. The president will come here and say, well, we will do the needful.
We're talking about two sovereign nations here. I mean,
the issue of two sovereign nations. Let us not be
master servants. The way you are putting it now, master servant relationship. I mean, two heads of states, one giving order to the other. It appears you don't know the man called Donald Trump. It's an unusual person. You saw when he was talking to the Liberian president, the way he was talking to him. You remember that the president of Ukraine, he met with him, they had a discussion, and the man was trying to be confronted, he was confronting him and he said, you know, he walked him out of the White House. That was what happened. Until the man get back to his side and said, I did not even achieve anything. And Donald Trump was telling him, when he left, he said, walk him out. When he walked him out, he said, the man was not properly dressed. You know, imagine you are talking to a serving president. The Liberian president was there, was asking him, where were you trained? Where did you school? Where do you learn how to speak English?
Good English?
I saw that video.
Is that not enough for you to know that the man, we will be seeing our president that if he be willing, because I was reading it very just, I don't know how reliable is that. Donald Trump already said that he will meet with the vice president.
Not the president.
Not the president. I hope it is not true. Because if that is true, that is the height. And that will showcase, to further demonstrate that it's a servant and master relationship. We are in a country where our leadership are looking for anywhere to borrow money. They are anywhere escaping from where to. There is no way the Nigerian government don't look for where to borrow money now. And that is what is trending. And you think Donald Trump don't have those kind of information? As of today, Nigerians are going more poorer. Do you think he's not aware of those information?
Let's be careful with the way we say that now. Some other persons may see it differently, so that we don't make subjective.
What I'm telling you now.
Getting poorer?
Yes, Nigerians are getting poorer. I think a few days ago that it is not to about 5 million persons who have 500,000 in their account. It's as bad as that. Yours is selling, I cannot boast of 10,000 in my account. It's only you people that could be posting of 500.
You can't say that you can't boast of 10,000 naira in your account.
The account is there. You can verify.
I mean, you're coming here this afternoon is more than 10,000.
Okay, the 10,000 I spent, is it there? You are already deducting, you are not adding. And these are the economy. Donald Trump is aware of this. And that's the reason why I say we should not look at it from the political angle. Let us not put political affiliation on it. We should talk as a patriotic Nigeria. You are the one trying to provoke me to go to that direction. I don't want to go there because I want Donald Trump to look at us in our hands and say, well, you people can do more better. Whichever way you look at it, this whole arrangement, it's a win-win for us. Why do I say that? By the time the Nigerian government has say, well, these are the issues, he will be showing intelligence, he will be sharing intelligence with our president. Maybe they are aware, they are not aware. And the president will come by no. And for one of the moves we are taking now, we have a new service chief who can say, you guys can do more better. We need the more DC. That is also an issue. And he will tell those the minister and also, you guys are talking too much. We believe in action. Let's get results. Let's get results. From there, people will be pushing forward. They will be there. So that for how many years we have been fighting Boko Haram. All of a sudden, they change their name to banditry and all what have you. Is that the... Why don't you just sit and think about it? It is because Donald Trump mentioned it down that he wants to come out, rescue the Christians, that all of us, we are running up and down. For the past 24 hours, there is no discussion in Nigeria apart from this
issue. Yeah.
That is the issue. And the president, they are even more bothered than yours, sincerely. Now, I'm bothered because I'm a patriotic Nigerian. This is the only country I have.
Yeah,
I don't have a second passport.
Yeah, right. What do you make of this seeming disposition to want to politicize issues in the country? Take, for example, these insecurity issues. Some persons are of the opinion that perhaps the presidency is trying to politicize it. I mean, 2027 presidential election is around the corner. Then the president cannot afford not to say that it is all uhuru for Nigeria security-wise. So what do you make of the politicization of security in Nigeria and perhaps in other African countries?
You know, in African democracy, we are still evolving. Therefore, we have never had that Nigeria, a leader in Nigeria who believe. I think with somebody late Yaradua, one of the presidents, when he was elected, and said the election that brought me to power is not an election I can celebrate. I cannot celebrate my victory. What I will do, I have to reform the electoral process. And that is the kind of voice we have heard. I think, seeming very close to him, Jonathan said in this election, don't kill for me, don't take a life because of me. No, my election does not, have to take any person's life. These are things. But when we have seen another president who say, take it, run away with it, when they say they want to, they tell them, shut up. We have seen that kind of trajectory. What does that show to you? That we are moving towards another direction. After Jonathan election, some of us were encouraged that at least Nigeria, we are moving. Some of my friends, that's what I was saying. Well, Nigeria is gradually getting it right. Buhari came, we were born and fumble. As where we are today, it's a different ballgame. I want us not to discuss the politics of Nigeria, because if we discuss it, that might further provoke me.
Yeah, but that seems to be where we continuously get it wrong. I mean, politicizing issues such as security, because I mean, for a government of the day to want to say that there is no, well, in as much as we are not trying to own up that there's genocide against Christians in the country, but you and I know that there's a mass killing of Nigerians.
What is the difference between mass killing and genocide?
Yeah, that's the question.
When you look at those, that's the reason why I asked you just now. It takes Donald Trump to measure it because before we are now running up and down. And that's the reason why you look at the trajectory of how people are talking now. I listened to one man of God yesterday. He was saying that the U.S., they are interested in our oil because we have it. I look at him and say, this man will probably be talking out of ignorance. The United States of America, the kind of crude they have even reserved, they have reserved for over 50 years. What kind of oil do we have their border about that they want to come and say there is little? I look at the man, I was laughing. These are some of personalities who are close to the power. That is a man who is a pastor because he's ethnically linked to the president. That is not her. We should demonstrate patriotism. All Nigerians should demonstrate patriotism. And I will continue to tell people, most of my followers will not like the position I'm taking now. Some person believe as a point I should condemn Nigerian government. I should say Nigerian government, no, Donald Trump should come and take over. Well, no, I won't say that. I won't say that because this country belongs to all of us. We must get it right. We will continue to make way forward until we get it right. Rome, they say, was not built in a day. Therefore, the president we will continue because we're in Africa. Everything center around politics. It's not even about Africa. Human nature. We have that tendency to want to hold on to it. It's human nature. Until you are able to develop yourself to that level to say, no, I don't need the whole world. I don't need everything. What I just say, I need basic things to live. Then you will now have a sense of belonging to say, no, you will be able to do away with that greed. And that's the reason why everything. We are in a state now, just we're in a district. Insecurity has been an issue in Edo State. I have personally, with my guys, I wrote to the governor to have an opportunity so that we discuss the way forward. So people say, no, this man is not from your party.
It's all culminates into
this man is not from your party. Yes, there must be a political affiliation for you to assess. Until we move above that.
Now, Roy Orivabo, as we commence our descent now, some analysts are of the opinion that rather than Donald Trump threatening a full-fledged invasion into Nigerian space, why don't he, or perhaps why don't the U.S. government try to, because we're talking about U.S. aid to African nations now, the way they've been involving in issues in Africa. A while ago, we read out countries that the U.S. government has involved in their issues in Africa and all that. So in our own case now, rather than do a full-fledged invasion, why don't the U.S. government try to involve in such a way that they partner with our own government in terms of military training, intelligence training to our military personnel, in terms of contribution, in terms of military hardware and all that, so that we can combat this insecurity issue in Nigeria?
That's the reason why I said it is good for we to appreciate what the United States have been doing for this country. We must appreciate that. You recall there was a time in this country where we went for this Tucano jet.
But we bought them. They were not given to us. They were paid for.
There are processes and all those because we did not do a proper follow-up. That's the reason why I keep on talking about diplomatic engagement. Nigeria, we don't do that. You understand? As of today now, I expect Nigerian government to send some persons out to go to the K Street in Washington, where you have the lobbyists, to reach out to them. How do we handle this? Not for somebody who is in the pulpit, who is preaching the gospel, to be talking to American president, and you are aware if Donald Trump, if he mistakenly see that online, you know his reaction. This is a man, even the typical citizens and people from the United States, they are beginning to be scared of him. With the way and manner he operates. It's enough for you to tell yourself, no, we don't need this man. And that's the reason why if you have listened to personality in this country who know how diplomacy works, they are saying, President, talk to your people. Don't confront Donald Trump. Don't confront Donald Trump. To me and to them is that if you confront this man, he will act. It's a man that is, whether I can call it, the exorbitant is it there, whether the exorbitant will call it, or youth, not youth, because it's an old man, but you see the way he's walking and the way, a man who can look to his fellow president and tell him that where did you go to school, come, he walked out another president from the White House, you are seeing that thing what he can do. He went to Venezuela, he said he's going to do something in Venezuela, under 24 hours he's in Venezuela. Is that not enough for we to say, no, we don't need this kind of arrangement? And the president, I'm happy that the president is reaching out to him. If he reach out to him and he show information, we are going to benefit massively from this, what is going on in Nigeria. Whether you like it or not, the Nigeria president will have to stay on the game. The game must move from one place to another in terms of seriousness and commitment from the part of Nigerian government. Then the president will not be directing the service chief. I just came back from the United States. These are the issues, these are the issues. We need this and not those things. Those betrayers within the system, they have to do away with it. This is not time for we. And I continue to say, it is not about Christian. I don't believe because of Christian.
It's about
I believe about him. It's about human being. Because the human being that dies, it's a minus to the existence. Therefore, we must critically look at all those matters, the way forward. And I will continue to push and I will continue to sow it. The 36 governors of Nigeria now need to come to a round table, look at their states, reach out to the critical stakeholders and say, how do we manage this? By the time Trump is also a human being, by the time he's seeing that reactions are coming from each state on appeal, they are not confronting him, they are giving him reports that is highly grounded and on issues. And you know that, no, Christians are not being killed. Most of it, we are aware, we recognize that fact. We can't run away from it. There is a high level of insecurity.
Now, one more question before we go, because of time now. Because some persons have the opinion, still trying to doubt the sincerity of Donald Trump in this whole issue. I mean, it is not the first time that he's been the U.S. president. He has been there for his first tenure, and he's coming back again. Now, remember I don't want to use the word the Christian massacre in Ondo State. There was a certain Catholic church whereby on a certain Sunday, worshippers and these guys came in, terrorists came in and lavished all persons in that church. I think that thing happened during his first term as president in the U.S. So what people are saying is that how come he did not react then? Is it is it the first time that he's just noticing the mass killing in Nigeria?
If we conclude like that, we are being unfair to him. We are only living in denial, and that will not help us as a country. As of today, if you go to the social media, you see people from Benue, the Plateau. They are no longer within their. Anytime you see them, people that are being killed,
they've been displaced.
People are being massacred. If you interview them, they are from one particular faith. And not this is, I saw a clergy man in the social media who is saying, if they come to kidnapping, my family don't pay anything, that is the end. His evil have already arranged his funeral because he's aware that any moment from now he will be removed. Is that not enough to touch any human being to say, no, we can't continue to live like this? Once a particular faith is seriously being threatened, there must be somebody who need to, a responsible person need to act. And I believe that is what Donald Trump is doing. It is not for we to say Donald Trump have another agenda for us. What kind of agenda do Donald Trump? What do we have in Nigeria he does not have in the United States? Our oil is quite inferior to the oil that is available in the US. What kind of
our oil is not inferior?
No, compared to the quantity of oil we have. With the kind of oil they have in the United States, you can't compare with what we have here now. You agree with me? Therefore, let we not be carried away with all those things. One, as a Benisian, I will continue to say it. Okoimose. This is the time for we to reach out to Donald Trump. I'm happy that the president is on top of the game. This is the first time I'm celebrating my president, saying I want to meet with Donald Trump. By the time you meet with
Donald Trump, just said a while ago that from the look of this, he may not eventually meet the president, but the vice president.
Yeah, that is what I read. I don't know how reliable it is. Yeah. I read it. I don't know how reliable. But I believe with time, it's not meeting today, not tomorrow, but within the week. By the time those men, we still have credible Nigerians who can talk to, who can, as at that level. I mentioned some names. We have Ayanku is there, who's widely celebrated. Basejo is there. IBB is there. These persons, Jonathan is there. They can see it. Let us not be defined for people like Fani Kayode. Who are saying that we will confront. When you and I know that we don't have what it takes to confront. Let us not deceive ourselves over this. It's even those who are even within the system who are even more scared. You are saying, Roy, you are talking out of fear. Those who are there, because it will take the grace of God for Donald Trump to say, let's all go and look for Roy, who is far away, no They will be interested in those men. Therefore, I'm even protecting their interests. You understand? Therefore, our senators must engage the president and say, no, this is what we can do. We have to reach out, because by the time, God forbid, they descend on us, we don't have what it takes to reply them. And that's the reason why I'm appealing to all Nigerians. Yeah. We must show that patriotism. This is not that to condemn Donald Trump. This is the time to appeal to Donald Trump.
Well, again, I'm listening.
Our leader, those in position of authority, must show leadership now. What is leadership? Ability to reach out. In any form, reach out to Donald Trump to say, no, these are what is up, these are the issues. In as much that you have agreed with me, there is mass killing going on in Nigeria, kidnapping is going on in Nigeria, but we can still find a diplomatic engagement and arrangement around all this, so that we can still remain as a country. Now we have not been invaded. To it is a problem. Once you not add that one to it, what will be our fate?
All right,
That's
so
the reason why
Roy,
we are feeling.
let's leave the discussion here today because we thank God that it's not as if maybe Donald Trump is really trying to invade Nigeria. I mean, he's only talking against what seems to be a mass killing of a particular race in the country. So he's challenging the Nigerian government to ensure that they do something about it. And if that's the story now. So we just hope that doesn't happen. But we understand that the president is going to be meeting Donald Trump. That's the Nigerian president and the U.S. president are going to be meeting on this issue any moment from today. As a matter of fact, maybe by tomorrow or day after that, the meeting would have been held. So we'll see what comes out from all that meeting.